Hi everyone, I am doing this live today from a very beautiful place here in Brussels outside. It's called Bois de la Cambre, and it's very noisy because there is a party and many people, as you see, around enjoying this summer day in Brussels in Belgium. From the last lives I did, some people told me that they cannot hear very clear. So I'll try to speak a bit louder and hopefully that you can hear me. Hi. Therefore, I would like to speak about an incident that a lot of people are coming to me after some lives um, and they confess or they share with me their experiences with stress, chronic fatigue, or burnout or chronic pain. So there are people who come to me that are in chronic fatigue, with low energy, with chronic pain, with a lot of stress and kind of depressed. They can be like with off work or with very, very low energy in order to be productive at work. Or maybe there are people who are not inspiring at all at work. So they ask me how it is to find this sparkle and fire back when they are in their work and doing their work like with more energy. And when I'm asking them how long they feel this way, if it is long time, they tell me that it might be long in between weeks, years, or months, or some more time. And this, of course, has a lot of consequences in their work, in their daily performance, in their relationships, in their personal time. And when they're alone, they probably go in very, very dark feelings and going through some very dark moments. And that's very understandable. And I understand you because I have also been there. And when they ask me if I can help them, if I can help them through one of my programs, my sessions, or the retreats that I I usually do them in Greece. I told them that when they are outside of an environment that really presses them or suppresses them or feeling low energy without production, and going into an environment where they can feel like safe, not threat, not anger, where they can be quite a bit concentrated and go through their priorities, their values, and their purpose, find their purpose or what excites them. And maybe it's a big pressure to talk about what's our purpose, what is our mission, and that's not necessarily always to do this. But the other choice that we have is to also go with the flow and the momentum. So we follow each joy that we get from that momentum and just go with the flow that we have on that specific day or moment. And the easiness and the feeling will follow a bit much easier. And this will get like an inspiration. We will get like an inspiring moment to even be drawn by our purpose and our mission. We will be much easier. So if you have a very great stress about what is my purpose, my mission, we can always discuss about it. But if it's not possible to get direct reach contact with me, just try to feel what is with the momentum and with the flow of that moment, and where it leads you to. Another aspect that we discuss with the people who get contact with me is that to recognize that any time that we set too much expectations or ask from ourselves to live outside of what makes us feel inspired, nourished, free, or find some balance, it's always my advice is always to get in the point where we recognize what we feel or a situation, for example, in a situation of a burnout or chronic fatigue, and try to see really try to do a cognitive exercise, as I call it, as a part of my mental fitness program, and to see and locate, that's challenge one, 100 benefits, 100 benefits and 100 disadvantages that we have from this specific challenge. And try to list that, because to find 100 or 200 benefits of a situation that challenges us is not at all easy, because our ego protect us and make us help us to survive, will make us stop at the 5 or 10 points. But if you really insist and you get to the 100, up to the 100 or to the 100, instead of watching a situation like that, you will see that you will start watching the situation from all aspects and all points of view. And this will directly have a change on your cognition and your perception level. This will have direct effect on your emotional level. And when your emotional level and your cognitive level, as I've said in previous videos, are in congruency, your physiology on your body will automatically, simultaneously change. This has been proven by research. This I can guarantee you by my own experience and experience that I see also with clients that have made great breakthroughs like that. And then the breakthrough lasts not only in a specific area like work performance, but it will be spread around professional, wealth, financial, love, and joyful and work career. So it will be a simultaneously effect. And the other thing that I can advise is, like, when you have also like a challenge, try to see to close your eyes and stay in your diaphragmatic breathing, because when you are in your breathing concentration, you connect in the same moment your mind, your thoughts. You quiet your thoughts, you quiet your body functions, and you quiet also your stress, your emotional feelings. And all of those three connect under a great function that we underestimate and we don't take care, our breathing. And that moment when you focus on your balance of your breathing and the observation of your breathing, try to feel like, if you feel like chronic fatigue, and this chronic fatigue term comes into your mind, try to go through your body and scan, where do you really feel it? Where do you really feel it in your body? I usually feel my challenges on my throat and down my esophagus. And this also shows how my thyroid is also can be challenged, and why my thyroid is challenged. And there are also other tests that we do to locate the chronic stress where it's located. But at least you can locate where in your body it can be felt. So you feel it, and then you can see also where it's like a system that I follow is the energy systems, or chakras, where every energy system is located on the spine, and every part of the spine corresponds to a physical organ, a visceral organ also, an emotional level, and physical, and a mental issue. So each point of energy corresponds to all those three aspects. So that's why I have mentioned on the post about thyroid, that also thyroid is not also physically on the thyroid and the hormone of thyroid, but also corresponds on emotional level, like on the communication, and on the mental level as well. So if it resonates with you, try this exercise and just try to check also for yourself, and let me know with your feedback where you come through. So these are two easy exercises to do on your own when you have some personal and quiet time. And the other point that I notice with the people that we usually talk about their chronic fatigue or their health challenges or emotional challenges that are demonstrated on their body is about also the fact that we have about waiting other people to live into our own values, or expecting other people to live outside their own values. Of course, there is some work to be done there, because when we realize what are really our priorities and values I don't mean like independence or whatever else doesn't come to my head now. But also, like for me, this kind of priorities and values is coaching and teaching, traveling, and be free. Like being free on all this level, like being independent at work independence, financial independence, being independent in my relationship, and being independent in my life and in my career success. So not to be dependent from, to be attached by other facts. So the moment that I do actions that correspond, are congruent to these values of mine, my body, mind, and emotional health is really in balance. When I didn't have this balance, I have, as I said, not congruency in my mind and emotional level, so my body was in pain. And for this, there are exercises to be done, but it's not so simple, and you need like a person who has been through that, or to go like I usually practice it through my program. Yes, and then by communicating with these kind of values, and also trying to locate what is for other people these priorities and communicate to their priorities, then we have like really great reduce and decrease in the criticism that we do or we receive, in the guilt, shame, or anger feelings that we might feel or we might receive, and the feeling of depression, chronic fatigue, feeling of crisis, or our immune system gets also much more reinforced when we really live in such congruency. And this also will take us to the way towards the tunnel where we see the light for better relationships, to get out of crisis that we feel, to get out of burnout, to get out of chronic stress, to not give up in life, but to be inspired by life, to see how our challenges are not in the way, but is for our way, on our way, to increase our energy and to find some more inspiration to the activities that we do. So we become more realistic, and we have some more clear targets, and we really heal the causes, because and the emotional baggage that we see behind all these situations, if we choose so to see and be objective. That's why the exercise that I told you before, to notice down the 100 benefits and disadvantages of each situation that we are, that makes a really huge change. It's challenging, and as I said before, it's going to be hard. If you stop on the 5th, 10th point, keep on going. Challenge your ego, challenge your survival mode, challenge yourself, and go through the end. Because from survival mode in our ego, you will pass to appreciation and gratefulness of the situation and see really 360 degrees the reality of the situation. Therefore, yes, this might take some time. It's not going to be like, sometimes it can be like an energetic switch and congruent with all levels. And that's why we really need like some exercise that we do on a physical, mental, and emotional level that takes some time. For about my programs last about 3 to 4 months. Of course, when we do the retreat in Greece, it's much more intensive and much more without losing time, and building on our energy. We have greater results because the effects are more intensive and more focused and more nourishing in a more nourishing environment. Therefore, if you want also to blossom on all these 4 aspects simultaneously, on how I call that our health challenges help us, if we turn them into our power, as a tool into our power, to blossom on all 4 aspects of main aspects of life that I consider as health, wealth, love, and career, and we achieve where the level that we deserve. We can reach the level that we deserve, if you can see that level. I mean, with every person I work, if he's open and coachable and open to receive and to be taught, I can have a vision. Even if that person doesn't see the vision, I can see that vision for him, and I help him to establish it and get the tools in order to realize. But mainly, what I'm best to do at my programs is to see what is behind and see what is the right point to emphasize for him and to do. So if you are ready to do something like that, and if you really want to have some congruency and to beat your chronic pain, chronic fatigue, increase your low energy, increase your inspiration at work, get your deserve levels higher, get on the path where you see the light out of your burnout and or of your depression. Give me a contact and let's get on a call together. It takes only 15 minutes to see if we can work together and to go through some tools that can be helpful for you and see how we can continue either in the program or in the retreat in Greece. I thank everybody who is watching. Hi, Alexandros. Yes, you will see here a lot of people who sunburn because it's a lovely day in Bois de la Cambre. And I hope everybody you enjoy this period of July.